Thank you, Deputy Presiding Officer, and thanks to the Minister for today's statement. I think these are interesting ideas and very worthy of exploration, and I think there has been a good vision that we've seen today, so I hope that a lot of this innovation does come off. As the Minister said, there is a pressing need for more housing, and hopefully the innovative housing programme will help to address that. But of course we also need to ensure that it is good quality housing and that also that ultimately it is affordable. I appreciate that there's a lot of risk involved with innovation, as the Minister stated, so we understand that not all of the different new ideas are going to take off, but it's good that we investigate them. Now, the Minister stated that there is a wide array of innovative housing products that are coming onto the market, and he stated that a lot of it is now very good quality, so that is encouraging. I think there is a good idea, as the Minister suggested, of linking an innovative housing programme with training a new generation of construction workers, bearing in mind that this type of housing may take off. There may be less need for bricklayers, as you suggested. That's possibly quite futuristic. I'm not sure if we can how specifically we can train people for now. If the Minister does have any more to say on that, I'd be interested to hear it. And how it's going to link up with Ken Skates and his ideas of employability and apprenticeships and so on. But that may be for a future statement, because I appreciate it's early days for the innovative housing programme. Now, there's going to be 276 homes built in the first tranche. Given that there's risks in innovation, as you stated, what safeguards do we have against spiralling costs in the building, potential spiralling costs, to ensure that we do actually get close to 276 homes and that they do offer good value for money? There are other issues over planning. Now, David Melding mentioned the Environment Committee and our trip to Salsa House, which is an example of a pioneer home as a power station. And it was very interesting going around and looking at Salsa House, but we were told that there was a housing association that are planning similarly pioneering development, and they were involved in a dispute with the local authority. I can't remember the specifics. I have a feeling it might have been Bridgend was the authority, but I might be wrong in that. But the one question is, what discussions has the Minister had with the Environment Secretary, who is responsible for planning, about tackling possible problems over planning constraints and making it easier for the housing associations to get the planning permission to develop these kind of projects in future? There's also the issue of the private sector. The Minister mentioned that he's planning to extend the scheme to the private sector next year, which will be, that's another interesting development to look forward to. So there's also an issue of individuals who might want to build their own sustainable homes in future, because there is a remarkable statistic that in Austria, 80% of new properties are self-built. In the UK, it's only 8%. So I wonder, in the future, what steps the Minister thinks the Welsh Government might be able to do to boost this sector in terms of individuals who want to go ahead with this kind of innovative project of their own. And one last point. Obviously, there's an environmentally friendly theme underlying all this. So has any thought been given to prioritising the development of brownfield sites for the innovative housing projects? Thanks.
The Secretary.
I'm grateful for all the members' questions, but I would ask the members to have some ambition, have some enthusiasm in terms of this great programme that we are launching today. We've even got the Conservatives telling us we're doing a good job. There's something quite amiss there. The fact is, £10 million on innovation for new quality housing is something that we should all be celebrating, and party politics aside. I just address some of the points that the member raised. We're not building poor housing here. We are trialling different types of housing, and there is a measured risk to that. And there will be due diligence around all of those projects. And yes, some will be better than others, but we have to accept that some will be taken forward, and some maybe it was their chance to flourish, but it didn't work for the environment they're in. In terms of the skills agenda, I've worked with Ken Skates and Julie James around what the employability pathway and supply chains may look like in terms of the projects that we are bringing forward. There is a national shortage of some of those hard skills already, so the carpentry, plumbing, traditional skills. Some of these can be taken out of that traditional method of delivery and taken into the factory. And what we saw, I visited a site yesterday where a lot of these jobs are done internally and are just dropped on site, and it's fantastic, a healthy way to do business, and the quality of these buildings are very good indeed. In terms of the partnership approach, we've had discussions with local authorities, RSLs, the Council of Mortgage Lenders. The important factors, whether people will pay for these and how that will develop in the future, is one that we have welcomed dialogue with. This is all adds strength to the bidding process. The issue of planning permission is an interesting one with some of these modular units. What has been successful is that some of the sites that we'll be using in this are ex-brownfield garage sites from local authorities. So it will be a case of demolishing or clearing the land that the unused garages were on, and then just craning in some modular units for homes for people to live in. So there are, with limited planning permission issues, so we have looked at all of the suite of tools needed to deliver this. I must say, Llywyd, I forgot to answer a question earlier on about finance to the member from Plaid in regards to there is 10 million this year, with a guaranteed 10 million next year, with potential more if the programme develops into something that we feel is worthy of further investment.
Thank you very much. If the next two speakers can ask